Hello, we're at St. Thomas Church here in Sanford. Father Craig Lister is here, and above all, we are here with some participants in the Vacation Bible School here at St. Thomas, and they're just completing. As you can see, the set is still here, and the theme of Vacation Bible School this year was Pandemania, where God is wild about you.
Thank you, God!
Part of the reason we're here in Sanford is we're going to visit the Matt6 ministry, which is one of the ministries that has been responding to the needs of those who have been impacted by the recent tornadoes this past April. And we're going to visit with them and show you a bit about the work that they're doing and that this community is doing and that St. Thomas is playing a leading role in. So thank you, Padre. Thank you, Sam. And thank you, Vacation Bible Schoolers, where Pandemania, where God is wild about you.
Thank you, God!
Well, you've just seen the children at Vacation Bible School who were part of Pandemania.
Yes, sir.
Sam is here. She was dressed a bit differently for that, but Sam and these other two women have been involved in something called Matt6 that responded effectively and pragmatically and practically as an act of faith to help people who were negatively impacted by the recent tornadoes in April. I want them to introduce themselves to you, and then I want them to tell a little bit about their story and how their faith met life and gave life. Sam, you want to start?
My name is Sam Michael, and I started working with Matt6 before it was Matt6 on Sunday, April 17th, the day after the tornadoes, when we were still in Alicia Hamilton's driveway.
I'm Alicia Hamilton. We started with a group of several other women, started Matt6 that weekend of the time that the tornado hit, which was April 16th. Coming together actually on Facebook and texting, trying to get a hold of what was going on in the community and see who needed what. I knew that Facebook was a resource, as well as the connections that I had through some other resources that I had in town, trying to see what everybody needed, and I needed a bunch of women to pray and get some things together that these families needed, and that's what we started doing on April 16th.
And I'm Pam Carley. I am a volunteer with Matt6 and was inspired by these two to step up and try and help in a little bit anyway.
And you've been able to help, how many you told me before, approximately how many families?
It's probably well over 300 right now.
Well over 300. And the thing, and I said to them earlier, I said, you know, I mean, this isn't like somebody famous swooping in with a bundle of cash and a ready-made organization to make something happen. You guys are three normal people, three normal Christian people who did something extraordinary and who continue that work. Why? Why'd you do it?
Well, it was definitely God-led to begin with. It was completely Spirit-led, knowing that if what was presented to us today, if we could do it, we certainly would have said no, probably. But the way that he presented himself, just the people that needed things, friends that we knew that needed things, somebody had to take care of it. So that's what we knew we had to do, was to help them.
And you help people get practical stuff like?
Clothing, food, actual groceries, yeah, for a little while. The first couple of days out of the home, we were actually making food for them to get to them because they didn't have electricity. So it started with the basic essentials that they needed to survive, to where we're trying to find places for them to live, and washers, dryers, refrigerators at this point.
And for you, this is a matter of faith.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's not through us. It's certainly not through us. Everything that we had asked for in the beginning, whether it was diapers or food of some sort, it was given to us by people in the community, families that we knew, a lot of families that we didn't know, that were ready and willing to donate their time, energy, efforts, and money to get the things done and accomplish that we needed to get done to get to these families.
One of the intriguing things you mentioned earlier was how you kind of networked it. And I know God did the real networking, but you had some technology that did help.
Absolutely.
What was that? How did you do it?
I just got online that first night to see who needed help on Facebook, through Facebook and through texting, through a lot of connections that I have. They were then texting me and letting me know what they needed. Then I would get on Facebook and people would just send me, hey, did you know that so-and-so needed this or so-and-so needed that? I would give them my number, they would call me, and just through a lot of networking, like you said, is how we found out and how people found out about us.
Now, the name of this is Matt6. Now, I'm trying to remember. I've read most of the books of the Bible, I think, and I think I've read all of them at one point or another. I can't remember. I looked in my concordance. I didn't find a Matt. You have to tell me, where does Matt6 come from?
Well, actually, Matt 6 is from Matthew 6, and it initially began from Matthew 6:3, which says to not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing when you're trying to do something in honor of God and give Him the glory and not to take the glory for yourself. That was kind of the theme for the first several days of after the tornado. We were doing things for people and just didn't want them to, we didn't want to accept any type of glory because, again, this was all God-filled, God-led, Spirit-led. We couldn't take the glory for any of it. He was doing everything. So actually Matthew 6 basically says, you know, to make sure that He gets the glory, that it's nothing that we've done, it's nothing that we do. It is all His plan, and He took care of everything. So Matthew 6, we cut it, I can't even talk now. We cut it down to Matt 6. One for witness purposes. So if someone says, who is Matt? What is Matt? We get the opportunity to tell them what Matthew 6 is and what it reads, so they will understand where we are and what our purpose is for.
It's a wonderful passage of Scripture. Matthew, the 6th chapter, is part of the Sermon on the Mount.
That's right.
It's the same one where Jesus taught us the Lord's Prayer.
That's right.
The same one where He said, when you give alms for the poor, or when you fast, or when you pray, do it in secret.
Do it in secret.
Not for the world,
That's right.
but that God might be glorified.
That's right.
You three women, and Sophia, we forgot to introduce Sophia. You give God glory by serving His children. And we thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
More information on Matt6 is included with this edition of Please Note. Thank you, and God bless you.